Well, Donald Trump does believe there's a very good chance of a deal with Iran, but they, of course, seem to think differently. Let's speak live to Ambassador Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley, US diplomat and former Deputy Director for the Office of Iran Affairs. She joins us now on LBC News. Ambassador, thanks so much for being there for us. What do you think's going on here? Because, of course, we've got conflicting messages from the president and from the Iranians.
Yeah, there is a lot going on. It's really astounding if one steps back and thinks about the fact that the president of the United States could make a statement about ongoing negotiations, and few people believe him, and that being a reasonable position to take. The Iranians have been adamant that there are no negotiations going on. Both sides have a strong impetus to not be telling the truth in this case. There's in his Hebrew term, hasbara, propaganda. It serves the president's position to say that negotiations are going on. It calms the markets, lowers oil price futures, as we've seen. And, of course, for the Iranians to say that they're not, because it strengthens their position. Their position has been strengthened. At this point, whatever the plans were when this war started, they are no longer going according to the plan that Secretary Hegseth talks so much about. We've seen reports that there are proposals made by the United States to enter into negotiations with Ghanibaf from the Iranian side, Speaker of Parliament, and Vice President Vance, along with the Turks serving as mediators. We'll see if that pans out. But the fact that President Trump said, do it or else, and the Iranians held firm, and the president thought wisely not to do it, is very telling for right now.
What do you think will actually be happening behind the scenes? Is it the case that peace negotiations will actually be going on in some form or another?
Certainly, but the Iranians have laid out conditions. President Trump mentioned the three that the United States is holding to now, which is minimal ballistic missiles, no support for proxies, and getting rid of the nuclear program and allowing the United States or some consortium to collect the uranium dust. I think the president used the term that is in Iran now. But Iran has listed 6 conditions as well, and that includes ironclad guarantees that there will be no more attacks against Iran, compensation for the attacks against Iran right now, and for others. So how this gets started, the president says there are agreements. So perhaps, if he's telling the truth, there have been some concessions made by the U.S. side as well as the Iranian side. But that remains to be seen. And right now, both sides still are holding strong. It is easy to believe that the Iranians may have more time depending on how destructive the U.S. and Israeli attacks are.
Do you think that the president expected the war to go on this long? It wasn't too long ago that we heard him saying it would be over very soon. He was kind of boasting about how well they were doing, achieving their military objectives. I guess the Strait of Hormuz has probably caused a massive problem that he possibly didn't expect.
Well, there's going to be a lot of questions about that because, of course, experts, those who actually have experience in the region, did expect it. Certainly the partners in the region did expect it. It's not a new thing for the Iranians to put pressure via the Strait of Hormuz. And so that line that, it was a shock to everyone, is not credible. Certainly at the end of all this, when the hard look at the decision-making to go to war at this time, the military planning, people have not complained about. The military has certainly done and exceeded the brief that the political leaders gave them. Where the failure, where the lack of planning appears to be on the political side, led by President Trump. There is a way, if he does indeed get the right concessions from the Iranians, that he will be able to point to a victory of sorts. But there will be questions as to whether this could have been done without all the devastation in Iran. Thousands of people dead, both in Iran and Lebanon, the loss of U.S. human life, the loss of Israeli life via negotiations.
Okay, Ambassador, thank you very much indeed. That's Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley, US diplomat and Middle East expert, joining us live on LBC News. We'll hear the